Chapter 1. The Emperor's Horse. Let's start with Emperor Caligula, a ruler notorious for his extravagant and erratic behavior. His most infamous act? Almost appointing his horse, Incitatus, as a consul of Rome. Caligula lavished Incitatus with a marble stall, an ivory manger, and even a palace. He even planned to invite foreign dignitaries to dine with the horse. Was it madness, a satire on the Senate's incompetence, or just another day in the life of Rome's wildest emperor? While it might seem absurd, this act highlights Caligula's complex and controversial reign, blending insanity with a twisted sense of humor. Chapter 2. The Salary of Salt. Next, we delve into the origins of the word salary. In ancient Rome, salt was a precious commodity, so valuable that soldiers were sometimes paid with it. This payment, known as salarium, is where our modern word salary comes from. Salt was not just a seasoning, but a symbol of wealth and power, so vital that the phrase "worth his salt" still means someone valuable today. In a world without refrigeration, salt was essential for preserving food. Imagine your paycheck coming in the form of tiny white crystals. Talk about a different kind of cash flow. Chapter 3. Vomitorium Myth. The term vomitorium often conjures up images of Romans indulging in feasts only to purge afterward. But here's the truth. A vomitorium wasn't a place to vomit. It was a passageway in theaters and stadiums designed to allow large crowds to exit quickly. These architectural marvels got their name from the Latin vomere, meaning to spew forth, describing how the crowds would pour out. So next time you hear about vomitoriums, you'll know it's not about Roman overindulgence, but rather about crowd control, Rome's answer to a smooth exit strategy. Chapter 4. Lead poisoning. While the Romans were advanced in many ways, they had a dangerous love affair with lead. From plumbing pipes to wine sweeteners, lead was everywhere in ancient Rome. Unfortunately, this had dire consequences. Lead poisoning is believed to have affected many Romans, leading to widespread health issues and possibly contributing to erratic behaviors seen in some emperors. Lead poisoning can cause cognitive decline and erratic behavior, raising questions about whether it influenced the decisions of the empire's leaders. A sobering thought, considering the empire's grand history. Chapter 5. Unibrow Trend. In ancient Rome, beauty standards were quite different from today's. Unibrows were seen as a sign of intelligence and beauty. Women would use black powder to darken their eyebrows, creating a unibrow if they didn't have one naturally. The fuller the brow, the more attractive you were considered. In a way, this was Rome's version of the bold makeup trends we see today. So next time you're tweezing or waxing, remember, in ancient Rome, that unibrow would have been all the rage. Chapter 6. Saturnalia Festivals. Saturnalia was the Roman Empire's most anticipated festival, held in December. It was a time when social norms were turned on their head. Masters and slaves switched roles, allowing slaves to enjoy temporary freedom and even criticize their masters without fear. It was a time of feasting, gift-giving, and general merriment, a precursor to some of our own holiday traditions. This role reversal allowed people to blow off steam and reinforced social bonds. It's a fascinating glimpse into the more playful side of Roman culture, showing that even in an empire known for its strict hierarchy, there was room for fun and subversion. Chapter 7. The Fear of Redheads. In ancient Rome, red hair wasn't just rare, it was considered a bad omen. Romans associated red hair with barbarism and even witchcraft. This prejudice made life difficult for redheads, who were sometimes viewed with suspicion and fear. It's a curious example of how physical traits can be stigmatized, and it reminds us that superstitions and stereotypes have long-shaped societal attitudes. Chapter 8. Roman Togaphobia. Not everyone in Rome loved the iconic toga. This garment, while a symbol of Roman citizenship, was notoriously difficult to wear. The complex folds and sheer length made it impractical for everyday activities. Many Romans, especially those not bound by tradition, preferred simpler tunics. This aversion to the toga was so common that it could be called Togaphobia. It's a fun reminder that even in ancient times, fashion could be a source of both pride and frustration. Chapter 9. The Origin of Barbarian. The term barbarian comes from the Greek word barbaros, used to describe anyone who didn't speak Greek. The Romans adopted this term to refer to non-Latin speakers, often with a sense of superiority. To them, barbarian meant someone uncivilized or outside their cultural norms. Chapter 10, Gladiator Blood Medicine. Believe it or not, some Romans believed in the healing powers of gladiator blood. It was thought to cure epilepsy and give strength. After gladiator games, spectators would sometimes rush to collect the blood, hoping to gain the fighter's vitality. This practice might sound macabre, but it was part of a broader belief in the medicinal properties of bodily fluids. It's a stark reminder of the extremes people will go to in search of health and strength, even if the science behind it is more than a little suspect. From peculiar practices to surprising superstitions, the Roman Empire was full of quirks that make it even more intriguing. If you enjoyed these strange but true facts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into history's hidden stories. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the unexpected. Until next time, remember, history is full of surprises.